welcome back everybody to another episode of AlltheMons in our grand world of Deep Dew. So, honestly, I haven't edited or checked episode 4, aka last episode, so I don't remember what all I covered, but I did know that we were going to get into some Ars Nouveau and or power generation, which I believe I have prepared for both, a little bit of both, but I am going to focus on Ars Nouveau before I get into power generation. The only reason why I would want to use power generation right now is just so that we can make some building gadgets tools over here. I'm pretty sure the one we want is the copy paste gadget, and the reason for that is that I did find a meteor all the way out here, and it does contain a flawless Certus Quartz bud, and I'm pretty sure if we utilize it properly, we can get infinite Certus Quartz from it, which is going to be massive when it comes to switching over to applied energistics, since that is the only other large-scale storage mod in the game besides ours, but ours isn't really meant to be a fully storage. It's just a very good early game starter and maybe mid game, but end game, it can be a little buggy. So yeah, that's why we are going to want all this set up so that we can prep and get ready for applied energistics. So what I did do offline was prepare all these imbuement chambers, which if we take a quick look at the recipe, it is super easy. This is just archwood planks and then 2 pieces of gold, but because of the ore hammers that we do have, we can easily double all of our gold, which will allow us to make all of these imbuement chambers. Not to mention, I still have quite a lot more in here just on standby if we really do need it. And then, I don't know if I talked about how there's apotheosis in the mod pack, which is a little self-explanatory why I have all these torches to increase the Arcana to get better enchants. As you can see, our pickaxe is pretty good. I couldn't get Fortune 3 no matter how many times I enchanted, so I am sticking with Fortune 2, which I'm not mad at, and I do have Silk Touch, so whenever I do find a spawner, I will be able to collect that, and then we can swap out the mob inside whenever we do start collecting any sort of mob spawn egg, I guess. There is also mob utils, so we can actually use Dreadful Dirt to spawn in mobs whenever we want. Okay, let's see. I believe that's a good little cover as to what all we are going to be doing this episode. So let's actually get started with all this, but first there's one dude that I do want to let out the ball and spawn out here, our good old buddy Magikarp. Why do we want to do that? Well, as you can see, I did evolve my Lechonk into this Oink. However, I am a little sad about it. I did not realize how much the model was going to change. I really do like the Lechonk look, so I did capture another, and I do plan on releasing him with the pasture block later. But yeah, as I was talking about, Magikarp, he now unlocked the evolve button. So if we click on this and click evolve, he's gonna turn into a Gyarados, Gyarados, whatever you want to call him. I'm pretty sure it's just Gyarados. And after a little tiny animation like this, boom, we now have Gyarados, which is pretty big, super different from before. I like it. And then he's just holding the Soothe Bell right there. Whoa, we can ride him? Okay, I'm guessing you want to ride him when you are in the water, I'm assuming, not here on land. But look at that. And if we come over here and check his abilities, we now have a new one called Bite. Looks like, oh, we actually have more. Okay, Splash. Oh, let's get rid of this. So we have Dragon Rage. Ooh, let's see. What else? If we come over here, Twister, Ice Fang, Brine. I have no clue what all these do, so let's check them out real quick. I know Dragon Rage is just a dragon attack, which we will keep. Tackle, I don't know if I want to keep Tackle. I might swap this out. Brine, this move's power is doubled if HP is at half or less. So it looks like it is something we attack with. Looks like it does pretty good damage, I'm assuming. As for Tackle, we will swap you out. And let's see. We'll check out Ice Fang, Whirlpool, then Twister, and then see which one we would like to keep. So Ice Fang. The user bites with Cold Fangs. I mean, what I care more about over here is the chance of leaving them frozen, accuracy, and power. So that looks very solid. Let's check out Twister real quick. So this one can actually make them flinch, has 20% chance of actually going, has less power, but the accuracy is 100, so it looks like Twister might stick around. Let's double check Whirlpool before we end this. So Whirlpool, looks like accuracy is okay. The attacks looks eh. But let's see, what does it say? User traps the target inside a violent swirling whirlpool that inflicts damage for 4 to 5 turns. So if this hits, it's just gonna accrue damage without me having to use a turn? If so, well, this is kinda crazy. So I'm gonna actually use this. We are not going to use dragon abilities here. Instead, I will use Twister. So, oh, it is a dragon type. The more you learn. So, now we have a dragon type. I'm not sure what this is. I think that's a moon. So, moon ability. And then double water. Sweet. So, we got 3 different types on our boy Gyarados. Let's see. I kind of want to look at his stats real quick. 73 health. That's pretty good. Let's see what else. Special attack, special defense, speed, defense, and attack. Nice. Looks like this stuff's pretty cool. One thing that I do not know is, or understand, is how we can affect the stats in any way, shape, or form. I do know there's candies and different things you can make and feed them. However, how I said, since I am brand new, I do not really know how all that stuff actually works, so that's going to be trial and error on my part until I understand it, and then maybe I'll make a video on that. Just for now, let's focus on Ars Nouveau. So, first things first, I think making an arcane core apparatus and some pedestals are probably top of the line on our list to do, so let's grab some wood. We'll make some of it into planks just so we have it on the side, and then when we look over here we are going to need some source stones. So good news is I do have some stone in here somewhere. Perfect. So if we come back over here, we could put this in the center and do that. And let's just make all of these into it. Boom, 32. I have a feeling I am going to need some more. So let's grab the other 32, convert that. And then let's grab some more lapis. So, if you are new to Ars Nouveau, you are going to need source gems. Source gems are a very common item that is used in many different things when it comes to Ars Nouveau. Kind of like one of the foundation blocks or items. So I highly recommend making it, and then maybe in the future you can automate it. It's not too hard to do. All you can do is like literally put a hopper feeding lapis and or amethyst, since it'll accept both. And then you put a hopper, put whatever material into this, it'll convert it, and when it does hit 100%, then you can just right click it. I'm not sure if the hopper will wait until this hits 100 before it extracts the item. However, if it doesn't, then that won't work. But we also have another mod called modular routers, and that one would actually be able to detect whether it is complete or not. And if it is complete, then you could just have that extracted, and that's a pretty easy way to automate that. I do have the farm over there, so I did move it. Here I just have my potatoes, a little bit of carrots, some cabbage, and tomatoes. And then the wheat is now all over there. And then, of course, the farm. As for the trees with the apricorns, I did plant them over there. So we have almost every single type of tree. The only one we are missing is the yellow apricorn or apricorn, whatever you want to say or call it. So once we are able to actually get one of those seeds, we will definitely plant it over here, and then we will have one of every type, which will be super useful. But just like that, we have our source stone, we have our planks. Let's get back over here, make the core. We only need one for now. Maybe in the future we can worry about having extras or whatever the case may be. But as of right now, that is the least of our concerns. Let's grab some diamonds. I have been mining and looting and collecting. That's the reason why we have tons of resources. So our diamond count is pretty high, and thankfully I've been getting quite a few drops from slaying mobs, so I don't really have to make diamond armor, and we already have basic diamond armor effects. Of course, if you are curious as to how you can increase your drop chances, I have been talking about slowly climbing the difficult tier over here in Apotheosis. Right now we are on Ascent. I did go over this last episode, so I'm not going to talk about the percentages and whatnot. All I will say is, when it comes to rare tier items, what I do need is a rare legging, and then make sure I have everything fully enchanted, and my sword does decent damage, and then I will most likely go fight the Wither, just so that I can get this tier unlocked and start collecting items to go to the pinnacle. Just because when we do hit the pinnacle tier and we slay the Ender Dragon and we get a mythical chestplate, then we can actually make the augmenting table and reforge some of the affixes in hopes that we can get creative flight on our chestplate. That is just the method I like to use, just because, I don't know, I like Apotheosis and it's rather easy, especially in AlltheMods. You can get strong very quickly, and you kind of do need to hurry up and progress to get to Altmodium and then Vibranium and so on and so forth, just because that's like the next tier where things start feeling like it's starting to ramp up and you are actually in the AlltheMods setting. Just because right now I'm just playing and it feels like I'm just having fun with magic a little bit, or mainly cobblemon. I'm barely dabbling in magic, but yeah. So, let's not keep rambling and actually get some of this done. So we got the apparatus, we have the core, we have imbuement chambers. If we craft a couple of these pedestals, let's shift click, we are going to need 9. Reason why I say 9 is because I do want to use one to make one of these ritual braziers. The reason being is you can make containment, or use it with tablets of scrying to find ores. You can use it with containment tablets to contain certain mobs in a jar, which then you could use Drigmies to automatically farm them, which is pretty nice, especially when it comes to getting gems for Apotheosis. One of the best methods out there. A little hint. And then, of course, if you do want to do magic with Ars Nouveau, at some point you will need the Walden tribute, which you can only get by summoning the Walden, which comes from the Walden tablet. And you use that over here in the brazier. So now that we have that, that helps us out quite a bit. We have the pedestals next up. Let's see. These repositories are pretty easy. The repository catalog requires a Mage Bloom fiber. To get this, you need the Mage Bloom seed, which is a relatively easy item to craft. So if we come over here and grab the arcane core, and I believe the enchanting apparatus, we could put this down right. We'll put it over here, not too close. Oh, come on, why are you sideways? Put it like that. Put the apparatus on top, and then you could put all these arcane pedestals right here. I'm gonna make them all small, and then place them right here. Of course, you could leave them big or convert them by just putting it here. Very convenient. Just like that, you have a nice little setup. What you can do is put 4 source gems here, put 1 seed here, and then after a little bit and looking at this beautiful animation, you will get yourself a Mage Bloom seed. Boom. Now that we have this Mage Bloom seed, we could plant it, and then I'm going to use some bone meal just to speed up this process. And when you use it, you can get some Mage Bloom seeds and some Mage Bloom. This might be a little excess, but it is very nice. And what you can do with these Mage Bloom is make the string. And then the string is also used to make threads and the actual Ars Nouveau armor and so on and so forth. Just a little FYI real quick. But yeah, we're gonna need that for the catalog. So I'll make 1 for right now. And then take a look at this. So to make a Dominion one, the reason why we want this is because we can actually set, how I said, we're doing the storage. So we're gonna need the Lectern, we're gonna need some chests, and then we're going to need some bookworms. And this allows us to tell the bookworm we are grabbing from this chest. So whenever we actually click on the Lectern, we can automatically put things in and take things out. And the bookworms technically do that job. So you'll see their animation of moving back and forth, side to side, wherever your inventories are. Okay, and then when you have starbunkles, this is one of the ways to set how they work, set how they're configured. Same thing with the Vixies, as well as, I'm pretty sure, setting the relays and splitters and how they're configured when you're trying to send source around different areas. So yeah, the very important item in Ars Nouveau. So that's 2 source, a stick, and gold. So now that I have a stick, let's see if I remember. So 2 gold, no, it was 1 gold, then it was 2 source, and then a stick in the center. Yep. And just like that, we will get ourselves the Dominion 1. Besides that, I already told you guys how to get the source gems. And then I don't think I'm gonna need source right now, but it is very convenient to actually start collecting it. So if I come over here, grab some glass, and then if I do something like this, nope, it's slabs, almost messed that up. So then we do this, like that, and boom, now we have source jars. This is how you can collect source for future crafting recipes, just because some items that you can craft are going to require source. So now that we have it, you need a way to fill it up. And there are multitudes of ways to fill it up. All you really have to do is come over here and put source link, and it'll show some of the things that can do it. So you have agronomic. I'm pretty sure this is the plant one. So as long as you have some sort of plants and or crops growing, this will automatically collect a source from those plants. And then if you have a jar nearby, it'll fill it up. And then volcanic, this one is you give it some burnable item, whether it's lava, coal, charcoal, wood, planks, whatever burns, or is like a burnable item that can be used in a furnace. This will automatically convert it to source. You have alchemical, so Vixies, if you're making potions and whatnot, this is where you would utilize that. Vitalic, one of the most popular versions, just because you can set this up near a mob spawner, and this will take the deaths of the mobs and turn it into source. And then mycelial, this one I'm pretty sure is something to do with plants or fungus, so whether it's the mushrooms or whatever, I'm not too sure. I've never really utilized this one much. And then this one, okay, this one's been added. I haven't never touched it, so I can't really explain it, but it looks like if we hold control, it'll explain it a little bit more in depth for us. But for right now, the ones I am going to be utilizing is agronomic. And the one thing I wanted to check is there snad? There is. So 2 sand makes snad. did we ever find a cactus in our journey? That is very unfortunate. Damn, did I really not find a singular piece of cactus in all of my exploration? Okay. The reason why is just because SNAD allows cactus to grow pretty quickly, and I'm not sure if sugarcane and bamboo may have the same effect. So this might be something worth testing right now. But first, let's make that agronomic, which I'm pretty sure I do need some wheat. So, to make this source link, it's going to require 2 gems, 2 gold, and 1 piece of wheat. And just like that, we have it. Technically, I could make 2, just so this doesn't take up too much time. I could leave one collecting already, and then work on the other. So, if I place this guy right here, so to speak, then I could put a jar here and here. I know it's messing up my farm, however, I don't really care at the moment. I just want to get this all collected and running. So let's just collect all this real quick before we continue on. Okay, collected. Let's do this. And as you can see, it did do a little bit of stuff. As you can see, it's grabbing some source and sending it in, which is exactly what we wanted to do. I guess I could put some more cabbage type stuff here. And then, oh, looks like our inventory is full. So let's deposit some of this stuff. We'll go carrots, the tomatoes, potatoes, and take a nap, and then we'll continue. But yeah, it's pretty easy to get source from that. It's just can be a rather slow method if you don't have any way to speed this up. So if you're just looking for something passive over time, this is pretty good. Most people, when using this type of source link, will utilize it when they are growing source berries, and most people do that when they are using starbuncles, because starbuncles can pick grown source berries and put them into a chest. And if you have a huge farm like that, that is very solid. Me keep shearing these guys just because I don't know who else. Oh, looks like any goat, sheep looking creature provides wool. That's very nice to know. But yeah, this is one of the few items I'm not very keen in, like what items get dropped from which mobs, and I am very concerned with collecting as much as humanly possible, just because it will be very necessary to make the animal seeds, just because these guys are currently our source of collecting animal products. And if we can grow it from seeds with mystical agriculture, I think that would be the best option. But yeah, let's grab the 2 pieces of sand. We do this, we get SNAD. Let's see how it works. So, if we put this guy down, I do know it should increase the speed of the stuff's growth. So, let's get this other source link down. This is a little bit of experimenting. I don't know what'll work or what'll won't. So, let's get rid of you. That wasn't very productive. Let's see, kelp needs to be underwater. So if I do something like this, no, it needs to be 2 blocks down. Whoops, my bad. So what if I do this? Let's move you over a little bit. Okay, put you right here. And then if I do that, so then I could just hold it here and automatically break it. As you can see, now it'll automatically collect the source from us harvesting and send it over to this guy. So it'll be a pretty cool method. Honestly, if you have an observer and a piston, having this go nonstop would be super cool. The reason why I wanted some cactus is because cactus will break automatically if there's a block right next to it. So if you put like a piece of cobblestone here and it grew and it just kept hitting it, it'll keep automatically popping on its own, and how I said, that would be a very nice, easy way to produce source. However, since that is um, currently unobtainable right now, we are going to have to settle for this method. And if we want to make cactus, yeah, it looks like it's not going to happen anytime soon. So it worked with this. I wonder if it works with sugar. Well, I'm pretty sure it'll work with sugarcane too. It's just we don't need to keep testing this out, but that is very nice and convenient. So we will be able to grow any type of crops that can grow on sand nearly instantly, which is very resourceful, very useful. Okay, so experiment done. We can throw that out. We don't really need that. We don't really need you for right now. Next up is actually getting the real stuff done. So, storage lectern, relatively easy item. It's just 4 chests and a lectern. To make a lectern is just some slabs with a bookshelf, which we already have. And there was a librarian I found, and you can buy bookshelves straight from him. So, let's see. Did I have an extra? I do. That is tremendous. And then as for wood, I believe archwood planks are considered normal oak wood planks, so then we could do something like this. Boom, we have that. And then over here, what I can do is grab some birch, do something like this, and boom, that's 4. Come over here, place all these down, and we can craft it. I know the recipe had the chest in one of these areas, so it was 1, 2, 3, and 4. However, Ars Nouveau isn't that strict where you have to follow it to a complete T, which is super nice. It is pretty forgiving as long as you have your 8 pedestals nearby your core, and it can detect the items within those, then it'll automatically pull and create the item. Just like that, we have our first storage lectern. Cool, now if we place it down and open it, it connects to everything. Nope. Sadly, we do first need to get ourselves some bookworms before this can be connected to the various chests and store our stuff, kind of like an ME system where we can actually start accessing and searching things up. So, to get to that point, we will need some of these tablets to spawn in some bookworms. So, if you look at this, what we need is some flourishing arch wood, which is the green wood, and you're gonna be like, oh, I don't have that. Well, too bad, go look for it. It's not too hard. These trees do spawn randomly and different variations in all the biomes, which is super nice. And or if you're lucky enough to find the archwood forest, then they are all there, which is very convenient if you found it. But yeah, you just need 4 of the 5 trees, saplings, with 4 source gems, and then that wood, and then you can easily make some of the tablets. So I'll put 1 there. I'll leave 1 in each spot, and then I'll take the rest just to see how many we can make. I don't think I need that many, but who knows? Can never be too safe. So we come over here, click on this, and shift click. Looks like I can make a ton. Let's see. We'll try 8 for right now. Let's see. This is 1 chest. Well, I could upgrade this guy. That's no, I do not want to tap into this guy. The reason why I wouldn't want this included with my storage is due to the fact that I am putting apotheosis gems in here. Honestly, if you have armor with special traits or enchantments, tools with enchantments, or anything that may be apotheosis related, aka anything with affixes and or gems, you don't really want to put those items that have extra data in any type of large storage mod, just because those items do have a lot of information in them and can cause lag and or corruption when stored in huge quantities in any type of storage mod. There has been no clear fix for it, and it's because NBT data is a pretty crazy thing to navigate. Doesn't really make 100% sense with code. It's weird. I've looked into it. My items have NBT data. It's weird. That's all I could say about it. But yeah, so we are going to want to connect almost any other chest, and then any items we are going to want to isolate to not be in this. So this is probably 1 chest, 2 chests, 3 chests, 4. Move all these items into maybe a separate little chest area right there. So then that's 4 chests, and then we could put some repositories down, and I think that could work. Okay, cool. So we'll make 2 more just because we have the resources available for it, and then see what happens. So to get the bookworms, if we hold shift and kind of like skip through it, we can see that augmenting with book and quills will create bookworm charms. So to make a book and quill, you are going to need some books, you are going to need some ink, and you are going to need some feathers. So luckily enough for us, we actually have a bit of feathers, we just don't have ink. Oh, interesting. It grew and added water. Cool. Not cool. Depends who you ask at this point. Okay. So I am going to probably teleport over to the ocean just to save some time, just because we are kind of far. Let's see. If we come right here towards spawn, right here on the sand. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. Anybody? Any squids? Squid-looking characters? Are you one? I don't think it dropped anything. Okay. Squid dudes. Are you a squid-looking dude? Sorry. Yes, he was a squid dude. Just like that, we got ourselves our first ink sack. So now we only need 9 more. Come on. I don't think I have a looting on this, but I do have luck. So if our luck actually works, we might be able to get a couple of ink relatively quickly. But first, I'm gonna take a nap, and then I will be back once I do have all the ink required. See you guys in just a moment. Alright, and we are back. So, I just basically used the boat to go around the ocean to look for squid-type Pokemon. Slayed quite a few, and as you can see, we do have some glowing ink, and then some of these barbed wire, which is pretty interesting. So I'll toss this back over here. Let's see. I guess we don't need all of these, and then the wood can probably go back. We'll turn some of it into some planks just in case. Cool. And let's clean up our inventory just a little bit. Sweet. That looks way better. Okay, cool. So if we get these books, perfect, and combine it with the feathers and ink, that should produce us some book and quills. We'll take that many. I know that was a lot. Technically, we don't need that much. However, that's all I could say. We'll use it. Cool. Now, let's see if we put this Ritual Brazier down right here, and then right-click it. Oops, we right-click it with a tablet. Let's get rid of that. Boom, it's technically waiting. You right-click it again with that, and then we right-click it. This should produce a bookworm, just like that. It is that easy to start making some bookworm charms. Really nice as long as you have the materials. So we'll right-click again, right-click you, right-click again, boom. That's 2, and then we just keep repeating this process, and then we will be able to get all of these bookworm charms nice and easily. Cool. And once we're done, we can actually spawn them in and connect them to our system so that we can actually start viewing our items. The one thing we are not going to be doing this episode is making one of the little gates to connect our system to an item so that we can access it from wherever we are. That'll be a future episode just because I do not have the resources to make that just yet. Even though I tried, I just couldn't find a damn blaze spawner. And then the nether fortress that I did find did not have one. And the drop rate of these blazes have been so abysmal. It's irritating me. Same thing with the ender pearls from the endermen in the warped forest. They're just, I feel like they're playing a game on me. But yeah, let's spawn in a few of these guys. Yep, I forgot, we gotta click on this. So just like that. Wait a minute. Bookworms, I kind of forgot. Sorry guys. Nothing personal. I just want to reread the book real quick, just because I know these guys can be connected to a few storage. So a bookworm charm can be used on a storage lectern to increase number of accessible inventories. Augment with a ritual of awakening book with book and quill to get the charms. Or these guys can be dyed, so they are all not the same color. In the event they die or dispel, they drop their charm. Hold up, I'm pretty sure they can connect to multiple inventories, but it does not say here. So I am going to look this up real quick. So let's see. How many inventories? Oh my god, I can't spell. Bookworms connected. Net 2. And let's see. Yep. Each bookworm can connect to 8 different inventories. That is pretty massive. So technically, this is 80 chests. So I think I may have overdone it, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys are probably watching the video like, are you redacted? Really, dude? Forgive me, it's been a minute since I've tried using this, so kind of forgot, but I did remember, just because in our AlltheMods 10 series, I did utilize this for a while, so I was like, wait, I think I might be doing something a little wrong here, which, yeah, I was, but at least I caught it, not too far into the video, but yeah, let's get all this stuff over here. Okay, let's see, anything else with MBT data? You in my hand. Let's organize this and just dump all this up here, just because I don't need that right now. What matters is clearing all this out. Cool. So you are normal, normal block, normal, normal, technically normal. You guys can all stay in here. Don't really care too much about you. So we'll do this. Except for the apricorn wood. That actually belongs over in the cobblemon chest. So you are now empty. Let's see, your turn. Any tool armor types I will be taking out. And okay, that looks like everything from here. Over here, same thing. And then I know in here I have some tools. So let's grab those guys right quick. And then now that they have been removed, also the cage, this should work a lot better. Unsure if these guys technically have NVT data. I would assume, just because they do have excess information on them. However, I'll leave it be for right now, just because doing all this is gonna take a little bit of time, and I'd rather not hold you guys up too long. Okay, cool. Let's dump all of this over here. just like that. Technically, everything with NBT data and so on and so forth has been removed. We can clean up the chest a little bit. I need to double check if I can actually move this stuff around. Let's see. Hey, please let me know I can make it a slime ball. How can we make a slime ball? Just because I don't think I have any right now. Lime dye. Technically don't have that. Let's see. We mill some wheat to make some dough, and then mix it with lime. That could be potential. Fishing. More mixing, more blasting. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Freezing. Damn it. I'm pretty sure that might be powered snow. I don't have that, so I can't do this, unfortunately. Let's see. Any other easy way to do this? No. So I can't really move this. It's just this one's slightly off. I mean, I could break it. That's not too much, or shouldn't be too big of an issue. So we'll do this, just throw some extra stuff here, just because the only item we kind of want to maintain a filter is the Pokemon stuff. So I want to see if I can do it using this, or if I actually need a proper filter chest, like the repositories. But first, let's grab some of this, we'll grab some of these, and this. I guess we'll just grab stacks at a time. Over here, we're gonna need some sticks. Cool. Let's see, it's 2, and then I should be able to do something like this. 1, and then again, 2, and then that should be basic. Wait, is there basic to gold? There is basic to gold, but it requires basic to iron first. Okay, cool. I was just making sure, just because then I could do something like this, and then when I right click that, boom, we turned a normal chest into a gold tier chest. So then we have all this extra space, which is why I kind of use them. It saves us a lot of room. However, I do want to switch over to repositories just because they can be filtered. So let's move you real quick. Let's get rid of you real quick, just like that. This one might be a little bit of an issue. Let's see. Okay, a little bit more of an issue than I thought. Boom. Boom, boom. Come on. Don't do this to me. Cool. Grab that. We'll just connect it right here to this guy, and then automatically toss everything back in here. So this should clean this up and helps point out something that I might have put in here that I don't want it in there. Just because the sunstones are cobblemon, so we want that over there actually. Is this another one? Yep, another item that I don't want in there. I want it over here in cobblemon as well. And then we can toss this up in here. Organize it. I do have this in here for right now. Don't worry about it. I'll move it later. However, once we connect it to the system, it doesn't really matter. Just because everything's gonna be basically in where it should be, except for Pokemon stuff that is done in a little bit. So first, let's double check the repository, which is the wood log and gold nuggets. So get the gold nuggets. I am going to need some logs. Over here, it was a repository and mage bloom. Did I put the mage bloom away? I think I did. I'll grab 2 because I want to experiment with something real quick. We have a ton of vexing, so we'll utilize that. And let's get this done. So we come over here, click on this. Perfect. I did want 8. Well, technically I need more. Gold. Let's see. How much gold should I put in here? That's perfect. Do this. This should get me... Let's see, how many? We want 8 plus 2. And then we should do this. Perfect. So that's... Okay. I think that's exactly how much I wanted for this test. So we put 2 of these and then 2 of those, and then we get the repository catalog. So if I am right, this catalog can technically connect to any repository and or inventory space that may be adjacent to it. And repositories are technically a double chest in one block, and these guys can be filtered with filter scrolls, if I am not wrong. Let's see, filter, yeah. So then we can actually set it to say, oh, only Pokemon stuff should be allowed in here. So to make this, we do need blank parchment. Any type of chest to make blank parchment is just some paper and some mage bloom. So it's a good thing that we actually got a ton of it. So then we could just do something like this. Let's grab some paper. And then since we already have the chest, we can make that into the other relatively quickly. So we do something like this. Let's make some parchment. I don't need that many, so I'll take this. We'll do that, and boom. Now we have 2 allow scrolls. Now I wonder how this works. So it just says item added. Oh, so if I do this, okay. If I put something like this and I do this, item added. So how do I unadd stuff? Boom. Hold up. What? Don't tell me I wasted it. Come on. Oh, where is it? Over here. Allow scroll provides a list of items that to automation related entities. To inscribe an item, place on scribe's table and use blocks and items on table while sneaking. When given to Starbuncle, Starbuncle will only pick up and take items on the scroll. Huh. So I could just keep adding items to it. But it doesn't tell me if I could clear it. That's gonna be one of the most annoying things ever. Especially... Okay, well, good news is this is an item that is either found or crafted, so I highly doubt I'm gonna have a lot of these. Same with repositories. So I guess I could just... Damn, I really thought this would like actually go over everything cobblemon related. I didn't think it was more of, oh, add 1 item at a time. I thought it was like a general thing. Oh, if we only want certain items, and here we need certain things. That is a little unfortunate, because I don't want to have to click through all of these items to automatically put it in here. But I guess that shouldn't be an issue if we just leave this chest out of the actual system. So we won't connect this chest to here. But I guess we could keep the repositories and the catalog. So the reason why I kind of wanted to use this is just because if you do a little something like this, since it does say it connects to adjacent inventories, I don't know how far adjacent it actually connects to. The little tome does not specify, so if it is only a 1x1, then I'm assuming as long as you put a little repository catalog like this, this should access all 8 repositories, giving us quite a lot of storage. And then, if it is not only bound to repositories, and if it truly is inventory space, just because if you do this, it gets a little bookshelf. It's super cool, I like it. But if we really wanted to be very efficient, there's something called some barrels from Sophisticated Storage. More direct, some iron barrels. Since we have a ton of iron, we could produce these like crazy. Technically, this iron barrel is also a double chest, but when we upgrade it to gold, we'll get a lot more inventory space, and then to diamond, and then to netherite in the future. Well, we're not going to be using this that long, but that could be pretty cool. So my question regarding repositories is it actually only 1 block adjacent, or is it multiple blocks adjacent? Just because if it is 1 block, then technically, this is the best you can make it. However, if it's multiple block adjacent, then you could probably do a little 5x5 and just leave this in the center. That's something I would like to figure out. But for right now, I do want to come down here. What are you? Pollywag? Interesting. Interesting creature. I like it. Okay. But yeah. Oh, there's another one down here. What do you guys drop? You know what? You can't see what's going on down here. You're all alone. It dropped a berry. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. You saw nothing. Okay, cool. So now that we are in here, I could do this, and then let's break you, place you here. If I would just put you down in the center, keep it nicely lit, put another layer here, and do something like that. And then now we have these catalogs set, and then I think I could connect a bookworm to the catalog, and it'll automatically access the inventory spaces all around it. So technically, if you want to make a pretty big storage system, I think this is a way you can do it. And then if you are using storage drawers, technically there is the master storage drawer or controller, and that can access multiple storage units in one go. And if I am not wrong, technically that controller is a singular inventory space. So if you use a lot of multiple drawers, so like the 2x2s, and then you can just have a ton of those, technically you can also make it so that these guys interact with all of those using that one block, which I am going to test right now and see if it truly works. Okay, so let's get this guy spawned in, and we will connect these 4 drawers, and then those 2 potentially. And then I'll probably make some more of these. Or should I do it right now? Let's see. Because if I add it, I'd probably put it right here. I guess I could do it here, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? I like that idea. Let's get this pickaxe real quick. Move these 2 out the way. Do I have any excess chests? I don't think so. Grab you. Grab some iron. Grab the gold from up here. Redstone and sticks. I keep forgetting before I forget that. So we grab these. Grab those. Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Okay. Then we do a little something like this. 4. Boom. 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 And just a little something like this. Boom. Your turn. And then we go like that. Boom. Sweet. And then we just put these guys like so. And just like that. Added some more chests to the system. Only thing we kind of need to be careful of in the future is where we put cobblemon stuff. We just need to make sure we are not right clicking it over here, since technically that's NBT. I'll throw that over there, and then we can do this, and you will keep on us, you on us. You can go over here just because we are finally going to test this out. Grab the Dominion one, grab 1 bookworm, click here, and then let's see, do we need to... Okay, so that's position set. If I shift right click. Okay, cool. So I shift right click this, and then I right click here. So that's 1 chest. Shift right click. Click here, that's 2. Shift right click. Click here, that's 3. 4. 5. 6. And then this should work over here. 7. And if I do that other catalog, that should be 8. Shift right click, come up here, click on you, boom, just like that. That should be all of those inventory spaces connected to this, which is really nice. Only downside is I don't have this connected until I either fill it up, which I probably might wait to do, then connect it just so that technically the only items that would go into it would be cobblemon related. So Now, if we just click right here, just like that, we have our entire storage system set and can be utilized over here. So if I come and switch this over to scale 3, no, never mind, scale 3 would be a little too tiny. Damn, so that's the only issue. Oh, I could click this, never mind. So then now I can actually look through everything a little bit nicer, and then if I need a craft, I can always just open this back up, and then boom, I will be able to craft whatever I want. One thing that you can do if you actually want to get started in Ars Nouveau is go ahead and make the novice book. As you can see, it's just iron tools for the book, and then to upgrade it after this, just some diamonds, some quartz, any type of obsidian, and some blaze rods, which is also another easy tier. Then following that, this one's a little more complicated just because it does require you to take on a wither, the evoker or invoker, and then the Walden tribute to get this one. And then if you want to go beyond that, it doesn't look like they added the AlltheMods wizardry set. So unfortunately, if you do want a higher tier, you are going to have to make the creative spellbook, which that's a pretty end game item just because of this guy. And kind of blows, can't lie. I kind of hope that they do add it, just because it, I don't know, let's see. Let's double check. What is it? AlltheModium? Wait. Why doesn't it show? Oh, it's because it has to be smithed. I forgot. You know what? That's on me. That's on me. So we could make this one, and then we can make the unobtainium, and then we can make, or after this one is the vibranium, then the unobtainium. Yeah. So if you want to get started in your journey in magic and whatever else, this is probably the way to go. I am currently highly debating whether I actually want to get into that, or if I want to do the iron spells route instead. Hold on, do I go all the mods? Let me double check this real quick, because we can make all the modium pokeballs. I think that would be pretty cool. Just double checking. So this is the armor. Don't really care about the armor itself. Okay, the only other item or armor set that I most likely would make, hold up, there's no irons? Oh, so they don't have iron spells in here. Interesting. Really? I wonder if iron spells will make a comeback. Just because I was thinking of using that to help us mine. However, it looks like I will actually have to dive into the Ars Nouveau armor, which we might go into the future. As for upgrading this guy, I'm not going to really cover it. You guys will just see it, and I'll let you know if I made it. But just like that, within this episode, I know it was a little lengthy, but we managed to make ourselves our Ars Nouveau storage system. Go a little bit into the basics of Ars and how to get some stuff. If you are trying to get source, of course you can have plants, and or if you have a cactus or multiple cactuses, you could probably set it up in a little radius and then place it on the snad, put a block, and then have them automatically get destroyed so that you can get tons of source just from this little resource, just because that would be huge. And just like that, looks like the game is making me my own natural water fountain. And yes, I'd say natural, even though I did place 2 blocks technically. The game said, let there be more. So look at that. We got ourselves a natural water fountain. We got some villagers. We don't want to deal with them. I kind of don't want to fight for no reason right now, so I guess I'll run away so that they can come over here. But yeah, looks like offline I am most likely going to run around a wee bit in the hopes that I can find the yellow apricorn tree, just because once we do that, then we should have 1 tree, a minimum so far, 1 tree of every color. I think I will have at least 2 to 3 trees of every sort, and then have just a ton of white trees, just because the white trees are going to be playing the role of being cooked into the blank lids. So as these guys migrate over, we can migrate over as well. Just so I could show you off what we do have before we wrap up the end of this episode. Next episode, I do think I do want to get into energy. Reason being is because, how I said, I do want to make the copy and paste tool so that we can actually go grab the piece of flawless Certus quartz. So if we come over here and put Certus and click on it, I am unsure if we have... No, we don't have Silocraft or whatever that mod was called. So I'm going to have to be a little careful. So if we click on this guy, so flawed with charge, 5% chance of getting that one. That was crystalline flavor. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna be a little iffy and challenging since we don't have that Silocraft mod. Just because that mod was one of the ways that I did farm a ton of Certus. As for without it, looks like this might be a little bit of an issue, but we'll see. Yeah, I just wanted to show off the farm real quick. As you can see, I did place down a ton of the berries and I just mixed them. I didn't really put them all in one row of one sort. It's different varieties. I just placed a row down and then I went for the next berry and then the next berry and then I just kind of alternated here and there just in hopes that I can get myself some of those rare berries. Well, they're not rare, it's just they are the ones that have to be mixed. And I don't even know the real percentages or the drop chances of those berries. So I just made a massive farm, threw them everywhere, and I'm gonna hope that we will get quite a few of those just because I do want to get into the candy making or whatever else can be made from those guys and start experimenting as to how they can increase our Pokemon stats. We are currently, I believe, like level cap 22. Where is my card? There it is. Yeah, level cap 22. I did take on Commander Jupiter and won. If you guys are curious as to how you can level up, just another reiteration. Jeez, I couldn't think. Once you get your trainer card and you find the trader associate, you give them the card to unlock your first series. I am doing the Brilliant Diamond series, and once you open this, your level cap will be 15, but if you click right here, you will then be able to see every person that you have gone against, and then it'll also highlight some key personnel that you need to beat to increase your level cap. So I'm pretty sure Gym Leader Rourke was one of them to increase to level 16. However, after them, I'm pretty sure it was Commander Mars who you had to beat to get level cap 20. And then after them, it was Commander Jupiter for 22. And then now, for me, the next person to go against... Oh. Looks like Leader Gardenia is the person that I should be going up against next. However, I don't know why it's not increasing the cap. However, offline, I will most likely fight them, see if I could win, and if I do, see who's up next, and whether it keeps increasing the level cap, or if we are at the technical end of the series and might need to start the next series to increase our cap more. I will find out more about that, and I will definitely let you guys know, just because I know that had me stumped. I'm pretty sure some of you guys might be a little stumped on that too. However, there's no guarantee I'll have that done by next episode, just because I am currently planning on recording the next episode in like after a little break. But yeah, that's only because I do have some stuff to get into power, and I technically kind of want to go into Oritech, just because right now Oritech is pure a Neoforge, and looks like it's only 121. I'm not sure if it's 120 related, but yeah. Oh yeah, it is 121. And so this is probably the only time that I get to mess around with it in a mod pack. So I am excited to get back right into it. Just because in AlltheMods 10, when we did our series on that, I had a lot of fun messing around with it, especially the particle accelerator. So I want to see what all changed, what else is new, and to see if they increased the power generation of their machines, just because it felt a little underwhelming when in comparison to power and mechanism. I wonder if any of that changed, especially their nuclear reactors. I feel like if they buffed it by 10x for at least that, then it has a standing chance against maybe power, maybe, well, not late game power, but like mid game power. It's going to be interesting. I want to figure it out. I want to see how it works. And we are going to dive into that, get a little bit of maybe extreme reactors set up as well, and see all the different ways we can generate power early game while utilizing the things we have right now. But with that, guys, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, I highly recommend hitting that like button. It helps me get this across to other people. Who knows how many people have downloaded the mod pack and are playing and are stumped with various processes and or things to do. And I hope that this can help give a little bit of a guide as to what you can do. After all, I'm currently not following the quest line just yet. Instead, I'm having a little bit of adventure and having a little bit of fun. And hopefully you guys can relate to that. And if you guys have any comments, questions, suggestions, tips, tricks, advice, let me know down in the comments. I reiterate, if you guys understand cobblemon really well and you know a lot about it, please leave some information for me down in the comments. I do try to get to those daily, so if you guys put some information, it can help me out a lot, just because I am watching YouTube and looking at documentation to see how it all works. But because of the radical trainers, it does change it up just a little bit. So yeah, if you guys know how the candy works and or how the berries all merge and affect each other and the seasonings and all that, drop that info. I would really like it. Just saying. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the series and would like to follow along, make sure to hit that subscribe button, just because that will notify you whenever I do drop another episode. Currently, I am on a hot streak being able to get this stuff out to you guys. However, I don't know when or if there may be a time where it'll become the Dark Ages and this will be a rare drop, so make sure to be subscribed to get those notifications letting you guys know whenever I do drop the next episode. But with that, guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are having fun with this mod pack with me or when you are playing it yourselves. And I hope to see you guys next time. Peace.